This is Biafra Television, exposing the lies. This is Biafra Television, exposing the lies.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Biafrans, friends of Biafrans, lovers of freedom. Welcome to Sunrise Daily News Analysis on Biafra Television, a program that has been designed to educate and enlighten you about the happenings in the contraption called Nigeria, the happenings in Biafra Land, and of course, things going on all over the world that has to do with Biafra restoration, that concerns the restoration of Biafra. We are the indigenous people of Biafra, led by Nnamdi Kanu and deputized by Uchemefo. We are here with a mandate to restore the land of the rising sun, Biafra. And of course, we have our weapon, which is a weapon of truth. That is what we've used so far, and we are here today because of the truth. And Biafra is restored already. We are trying so hard to ensure that the evil entity, the false entity called Nigeria, is brought down to nothing, because it's a false entity and we cannot remain in such a position. That is why we have come to take our own freedom, and that we must achieve. We are reaching from Biafra Land this morning. My name is Ngozi Chukwuk, and I have with me in the studio this morning
Bright Oriako.
Mazi Bright, good morning.
Good morning.
You're welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Of course, Mazi Bright Oriako will be educating us today on what we have, although we are here with something, an already made broadcast from our leader, but we are going to explain it bit by bit. We are going to look at it bit by bit according to his statements. It's very important so we can digest it very, very well. Once again, you're welcome this morning. Don't forget to share this program. We are on our satellite TV, we are on Facebook, we are on Periscope, we are on Twitter and YouTube, so do not forget to share this program. If you're on Facebook, please share to all your friends, share to everyone, share it through their the inbox, share via the inbox. Every group here you find yourself, or every forum you find yourself, please share it. Also copy the link, distribute it on WhatsApp, share to your friends. It's very, very important they watch this program with you. And for benefit of those who do not have access to internet or who do not have the satellite TV, we are transmitting simultaneously on Radio Biafra Land, and you can listen to all via the app. Of course, with our frequency, also those who are in Biafra Land can listen to this program there on Radio Biafra London. Thank you very much once again for joining us on this program. Our lines will be open 30 minutes after now for you to call in and make your own contribution. It's very, very important. Let's hear your take. Let's know what your take is on this broadcast. It's very, very important. Once again, I am Ngozi Chukwuk, and you're welcome to the program. Okay, Mazi Oriako, let's look at what we have here. According to our leader's broadcast, we know he broadcasted on Saturday. That was 2 days ago, and it was another boom. It was another bomb. He exploded. Okay, so I will have to look at what he said here. He said, I will lock them down in Asorok. They will not come out again to campaign. That's coming from Nnamdi Kanu. I will lock them down in Asorok. They will not come out again to campaign. How do you see it? What does he mean by that? And how feasible do you think it is?
Yes, because Nnamdi Kanu is the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. And we, the indigenous people of Biafra, are here to restore Biafra. Biafra is the land of the rising sun. And of course, we have one instrument, that is the instrumentality of truth. And of course, when you talk about Biafra, you're talking about land of the rising sun. And you see, there's light that shines in darkness, and darkness cannot comprehend it. That is what our leader actually means. Because the evil going on in Asorok is the center of the heart of darkness. And of course, Nnamdi Kanu coming with the truth, coming with the light. And of course, the only thing that you do sometimes when you go to a room and that there's no light, you discover that once you close that room, everywhere is dark. And that is what Nnamdi Kanu is trying to let them understand, that after exposing the truth, they can no longer come out. Their lies can no longer come out, and of course they can't do what they are doing in the dark, in the open anymore, because we, the indigenous people of Biafra, are here, and we are here with the truth. The time for committing crimes and of course parading yourselves and the impostor parading himself all over the world has gone. And of course, you know that in the recent days he has stopped international trips going to different countries. In the past, he would do that openly, to the point that he went to visit the most powerful man in the world. President Trump requested for Buhari, and of course, because Buhari was not there, Buhari was not dead. And of course, our leader said he didn't meet Buhari. The man in Asorok went to represent him, and he was as serious. It was as serious as that the evil contraction called Nigeria, the evil cabals we are talking about, the concussion they call Nigeria, the heart center of the heart of darkness, could present an impostor to visit the man in the most powerful man in the world, President Trump. And that was how serious it was. So our leader now also knew that these people are actually ready to do anything, because when they have seen that nobody is talking about their lies, they have actually think they have succeeded. Our leader now said, no, we are going to take it bit by bit, and he started taking it step by step, because one thing that Nigeria specializes in is in making simple issues complex, and that is why you see them using complex words all the time. You see, there are those who they call intellectuals coming out and they are using complex words. English words we know are very simple words. The English people that colonized West Africa, of course, Nigeria, that concocted Nigeria, they presented a simple lifestyle. If you watch the Englishman, see how simple their lifestyle is. See how simple their language is. That it has become the #1 language in the world. That is how simple the Englishman is. That is how simple the English language. But those who say they are intellectuals, who of course have studied, gone abroad to study, they say they make issues complex. And when you talk about the man in Asorok, Nnamdi Kanu is talking about a double, a Sudanese, the impostor from Sudanese coming to Asorok, but they are trying to make it complex. So he decided to, of course, adopt a different approach. He said, no, we are going to take it step by step and make it very simple. And that is why he is actually coming out with the smallest evidences. You know, we are not talking about DNA test, which is so, of course, that is a scientific. We are talking about the simple ones that every blind man can actually identify. Every person can see that this thing in Asorok is not Buhari. And of course, he is saying it that at a time that he will stop waving his hands, and that was what he did. So of course, today we know that the man in Asorok cannot wave his hand. Before he stopped him from waving his hand, he also said that very soon he will stop removing his cap. And of course, he said, if this man in Asorok is Buhari, let him remove that thing. That hat is wearing. Let's see whether he actually is Buhari, because we know that Buhari had a bald head, but he was unable to do that. And today, our leader have taken it one step further. He said it's time to imprison him. It's time to send him to the dark room, because we have to expose him. We are bringing the light, and the stronger the light shines, the stronger, of course, the more it drives darkness away. And that is why you see that Buhari, of course, the man in Asorok, the impostor, Jubri from Sudan, has to be confined in a room. That is what it means. So our leader have said that this man is not coming out to the public again. It's not going to come out to the public again, because we are moving some steps further. And that is it. So he is breaking it down to the point that even a blind man, didn't you see the last time he went to the National Assembly how Saraki was looking at him? He was actually looking at that ear, because our leader have talked about that ear. And of course, any time the man in Asorok comes out, the people have to look at that ear. So that is why our leader is bringing it step by step, that even the blind man will see. So it becomes impossible for the man in Asorok to come out to the public, and that is where we are today. So our leader, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, mean business, because we are not here to joke. Something very serious is happening, and we cannot just joke with it, because people here make things complex. And you see those who call themselves intellectuals, when you bring simple issues that are simple and demand simple answers, simple, they make it complex. And that is why you see what they are trying to make complex, our leaders insist, sustains that truth that we need to look at the ear very, very well. Is that the ear of Buhari? And that was what he said. And today he has made it clear that Buhari can no longer come out to the public.
All right, thank you very much. He also made another statement. He said, even Saudi Arabia government cannot come out and deny that Buhari is not buried in their country, Nnamdi Kanu. And of a truth, all this while we've been saying it, that he was buried in Saudi Arabia. Don't you think it's enough allegation or enough accusation that could have propelled the Saudi Arabia government to react?
Of course, that is it. The Saudi government, the Saudi Arabia, because we know that when you're talking about Muslims, they go there all the time for jihad. And of course, you're talking about the integrity of the Muslims. The man in Asra, of course, Buhari, that with the late Buhari used to be a hardcore Muslim. And of course, when you're talking about issues in Asra and linking it to Saudi Arabia, exactly where he was buried, the Saudi government, if it was a lie, would have been the first to come out and said, no, why are you saying this against us? Because you are talking about Saudi Arabia, you are talking about the home of all Muslims. That is where they go to perform their Hajj all the time. So they would have come out openly to say, no, what do you mean? Come and show us. And of course, where is the evidence and all that? But the Saudi government kept mute to prove to you that what Nnamdi Kanu is saying is true. So all the evidences are there, and when we are talking about what is happening in our own society, in our world. When we are talking about today's world, we are not talking about history. We are not talking about what happened 100 years ago or what happened few years ago. We are talking about between 2017 and up until now, what is happening. That there is something that happened, that a man, the former president of Nigeria, because today now Nigerian government don't have a president. That's what it means. You have a terrorist government, you have a system that have been hijacked, and there's an impostor sitting there. And of course, the former president was buried in Saudi Arabia. That is what Nnamdi Kanu said. And if it was a lie, the first people that would have refuted it, the first people that would have, of course, came to make a public statement was the Saudi government. But they are not doing that because they know that what Nnamdi Kanu is saying is the truth. And that is why you see them keeping mute, because these are evidences that even anybody who is trying to shy away from the truth looks at these things. And that is why you see everybody, the international community, all the people, the fact that the day the man in Asra went to say that it's really me, the world began to laugh. But why do you think that the whole world were laughing? They were laughing because Saudi Arabia have never said no. And of course, they knew that actually this man in Asra is an impostor. So the world began to laugh. And today, when you're talking about the man in Asra, the world can only laugh at you. They can only laugh because they know that Nnamdi Kanu is saying the truth. And of course, every evidence and that anybody require is just there, that this man in Asra is an impostor, is Jubril from Sudan, not the former Buhari, because our leader have said it, that Buhari was dead and buried in Saudi Arabia, and the Saudi government know it. That's why they are keeping mute.
All right, thank you very much. According to Nnamdi Kanu again, he said, Eric Joyce, a former British government official, tweeted that Buhari died. Still, Nigerians can't get it. So go to Google and search Buhari's visit to White House, then use the pictures to do your analysis. And we have, that's the old picture and the new picture. You will have to see it yourself. So what do you have to, what do you think? Do you think Nigerians can, or Nigerian government can sue Eric Joyce? And why have they not made any attempt?
You see, the Nigerian government you are talking about, you see, today we know that there is no government in Nigeria anymore. You have an anarchy, you have a system of lawlessness that has been enthroned, and that is the climax of it that you begin to see. Because there is an impostor there. So which government are we talking about today? If the number one citizen is an impostor, then what kind of country do you think Nigeria should be addressed? So which government should sue him? Because you see, all the time it is the whites. Our leader keeps saying it. Why is it that it is even the white that solve our problems? That nobody is able to stand up and address this issue. And it takes a British, the same British that we accuse of colonization. That is what it is. So you see that when you accuse people, the whole world are not evil. There are evil people everywhere. Yes, we know. When you're talking about colonization, oh yes, there are a lot of people do things for their interest because you know, people are looking for their daily bread everywhere. They look for it anywhere. And of course, when they come to your land and they look at you and you are not doing anything, just like the man in Asorok, of course, is there sitting in Asorok and nobody's doing anything about it. In the next years, you see that the Sudanese will begin to troop into Nigeria. They begin to troop into the evil contraction called Nigeria, and they will take over because nobody is stopping them. So which government should sue him? Because you know, you can only sue a person who is lying. Then you talk about going to court and you come and talk about evidence. The Nigerian government will not do that because it will lead them to make subjecting the man in Asorok to DNA test. But because they know that the man is saying the truth, and if they sue him, and he's going to take the case up, and they are going to go to international court, and of course the man in Asorok has to be subjected to DNA test. That's why the Nigerian government will not do that. So the truth is there, they are lying there, and of course it takes honest people to point these things out to you. What else would they do to you? Because you have 200 million, you have intellectual, those who say they have studied, they went to the same university where this Eric Joyce attended. You see that there are people who claim to be Nigerian, who say they love one Nigeria, and they say they are intellectuals, they say they are brain good heads, and they say they are working for your future, they are working, and they are not able to stand and face this evil. So it takes foreigners to point out to you that this man in Asorok is not bad. Yet you still see that those who claim to be intellectuals are still those who are coming out to say no, that the man in Asorok is Buhari, and they have no evidence to prove it. Everything is just lying there. That even the whites, who we claim to be the one that colonized us, are pointing it out to us. So there's a problem that our people, and you know, we're talking about the evil, the kind of evil that the people love evil. That is the climax of the whole thing. That the people just like evil. They like negative things. They like colonization. They like people who put it to them. That even the Sudanese are coming down. Because the man in Asorok is not coming alone. He came with his team. Of course, you talk about strangers who are running the government. And the other day, we were talking about it here. That strange faces are in the government. And they are just taking over the place. And you see people are keeping quiet and keeping mute. And a foreigner is pointing it. So they cannot sue him. Because they know that he is saying the truth. Exactly the same truth that Nnamdi Kanu is saying. Exactly the same truth that the whole world have known. And that is why they are laughing at you, and of course claiming to be a Nigerian. Because they know that Nigeria has actually collapsed. There's nothing called Nigeria.
All right, thank you very much. Let me also read this. He said the difference between a white man and black man is that white man will pray and support their freedom fighter, while black man will pray and do everything possible to see that their freedom fighter be killed. There are limits to which what an evil white man will do, but there are no limits to which what an evil black man will do. The heart and thinking of black man is full of evil, and Nigerians are a case study. What's your take on this?
Exactly, because you see, there are so many things that we need to look at and admit. One thing I like Nnamdi Kanu for is he's not looking at complex issues. So the issue is so complex. He's looking at these simple things that we should have understood and taken advantage of. Simple facts that are right before us. We are talking about simple things. So you see, you look at our system. If you look at today, people are talking about colonization and how the whites stopped and of course use our own people. What we are talking about today is post-colonial effect, and of course what is happening that the white there was pressure. You need to remember when we are talking about the blacks, what is reigning today. Today our leader last time was talking, and I think those of them in America said no, stop abusing, insulting the blacks, and of course he said no, he have to say the truth. Because what has a good number of them done? They only came back here to teach our people how to sag. That is what most of them are doing. Right before now, we know that even those of them in America, there were people that fought for them. Remember the era of negritude. You're talking about intellectualism. You're talking about intelligence. You're talking about processing information. Because you see, when you're talking about freedom fighting, people think it's about raising arms. It's not just about raising arms. You're talking about a system. You're talking about bringing a revolution. And revolution is not just about going to protest in the streets alone. It has a lot to do with the intellect of the people. It has to do with the how awakened the people are, their consciousness. You know what goes on into their subconscious mind. That is what tells you how free the people are. And of course, we're talking about the eras of negritude, about 1930 to 1940. That was the era of negritude. Why was it not sustained? That is the question I've been asking. Because you have a people who said, okay, we have been insulted by the whites, we have been colonized, and for that reason we are going to accept what they say we are. And of course, for that reason they started a movement, and they call it an intellectual movement. They started in literary work, and of course you talk about negritude, and they fought. And you saw South Africa, you saw Ghana today, you saw a good number of African countries enjoyed it, and before you knew what was happening, it affected the colonial system. And that was what launched you into this post-colonial era you're talking about. But why is it that our people cannot sustain it? That is the ability to process information, and that is what our leaders pointing at. Our people have this still need to develop a capacity that process simple information and sustain it. That is what freedom fighting is all about.
All right, thank you very much. I will get connected to our reporter Oge Friday Giri from Ebonyi State. Hello, Oge, are you there?
Yeah, good morning.
Thank you very much. Good morning. Welcome to this morning program.
Thank you very much. Fellow Biafra Land, the world. It's my pleasure to join the program this morning. It is not about because this time, but from Akwa Ibom.
Great.
Particularly from you, I'm talking this morning. Friday, the 21st of this month, I went to the Akwa Ibom for the third signing for the progress of our struggle, Biafra and for Ipob. It's very good one to be here. I've gone several places trying to talk with people in the streets, also with our brethren in the Ipob family in the struggle to restore Biafra. Within this few days I stayed here, I've gathered a lot of reports. But of course, our people here are very much interested in getting Biafra restored. They are very much willing to dance to the tune of Ipob. So many people are very much willing, even the traditional leaders, very much interested in what they are doing, and they are very much ready to join the team, dance and to restore Biafra. So, as of yesterday, I visited the campaign ground where Emmanuel Odom, the PDP, the aspirant of the state, is campaigning. And what I saw there was very, very much good in my liking, because the campaign ground, despite what they used to furnish the place and the enticing gifts they are giving to the people that gather, still people prefer to go to entertainment areas. What I saw was clear evidence that people are tired of voting and they are ready to do anything to make sure that the letter is being restored, despite the letter information that they received. Because after that, I had to visit another place in entertainment areas where I see so many youth who prefer to go and stay there to have some fun. But in the campaign ground, where they are throwing some gifts, it was some road passerby who just pause little seconds, look at them, and start going. So I go to the other side, I see so many people feel relaxed, sit there to enjoy themselves. So the people, as regards to what I've gathered, is that they are lacking information, and they really complain of that the radio Biafra signal is not reaching here. It's only for some few persons who can afford it that listen through application, and that is not really helping nothing. But from the higher percentage of people like kids, they complain that their major problem is lack of information. Radio Biafra signal is not reaching here, and they say that at all, the gate one now hit in the center of the city, it can also cover the person major part of Cross River, whereby people from that area must receive the signal. It is true that we are having some issues in our family, but then that is what is left for the leadership of IPD to rectify. This morning now, we also proceed to finish up what I need to do before going back to my base. But in the conclusion of the whole matter, our people here in Akwa Ibom are very much happy. They are very much vibrant, and they say that they are Biafrans. And indeed, all need better performance. From what I have seen so far, they need nothing but Biafran restoration. It's not by saying, it's not by mere assertion, that is the fact. So if you fair or if you don't like it, if you don't believe it, you cannot stay firm and make the investigation yourself. The word they appeal to people or to the leadership of country is to get the transmitter for them, so that the people can listen direct and hear it from the horse's mouth. In that note, they say that the way people will troop out will be such a magnanimous one. And it is also an appeal to the leadership of IPAB to hasten up, because if this is not done before the referendum time, it's going to affect things, and it is going to increase some work and awareness of the people who are in the field. This is a matter that needs to be looked into urgently, because some persons are complaining of marginalization, that no state in English-speaking Biafra lacks radio Biafra transmitter, but here they don't have it. So I was trying to convince them that it's not like that, that the leadership are making plans to bring in so that and be hearing the information from the person's mouth. That is the report so far for now. By tomorrow, I'm still going to bring up another report and that one that I will gather this online today.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Of course, that's a wonderful report coming from Akwa Ibom State, and of course, I think we need to assure them that things are changing, times have changed, and a lot of things are being put in place. I think just last month, radio transmission was also installed in a particular part of Akwa Ibom, and there are arrangements going on. I'm very much sure the arrangements to install about more too over there in Akwa Ibom want to ensure that the whole of Akwa Ibom is saturated. The leadership is on it right now. I am 100% aware of it. The leadership is aware. Some part of Akwa Ibom is being covered already, and of course the remaining part of it will get it very soon, very, very soon. So they just have to exercise some patience. And of course, talking about the traditional rulers also being interested, he saw so many of them also coming to talk about Biafra and visited so many of them, and they welcomed it. I think that's a welcome development.
Yes, of course, the traditional rulers, if he means the genuine ones, because all the problems we have got in the past is that you have people who were imposed to do the will of the government in the name of tradition. But the truth about it is that our traditional rulers are always talking about the truth, because Biafra represents truth. So when you meet the right people, you get even in Igbo land, we still have such people. Even in Ijo, go to any part of Biafra land, it's the same people, the same kind of problems you meet. So once you meet the right people, you discover that, yes, they are talking about the truth, because they know the truth. You cannot be a traditional ruler without knowing the history of the land you are talking about. So that is why you see, it is not difficult. The restoring Biafra is about the people, you, of course, deciding their future. So we are talking about the indigenous people of Biafra. We are not talking about the warrant chiefs. We are not talking about those who have sold themselves into slavery. Of course, we are not talking about the Hausa Fulani slaves. We are talking about the indigenous people. We are talking about the traditional leaders, and they are everywhere. So many of them we are, of course, dumped. So many of them we are silenced. So many of them we are, of course, stripped of their positions because they refuse to support the evil government. But you see, we are here to restore Biafra back to her roots, and that is why every traditional ruler, those ancient ones, those that have the truth, because it's about the truth about of their culture, about our culture and our identity, and of course they are there. Whenever you come across them, they are the ones to even educate you. They are the ones to tell you. So they are not going to clap for us. They are working. They are the indigenous people, and of course they are doing. We are all working together to make sure that Biafra is restored. So it's not just the issue of Nnamdi Kanu. Remember, Nnamdi Kanu said, "I am not IPOB. I do the will of IPOB." Who are IPOB? They are the traditional leaders in Ijo, Ishekiri, and of course, all parts of Biafra land. We are doing the same thing because we are the same people. We must get Biafra restored.
All right, thank you very much. Of course, we are the same people and we must get Biafra restored. And Akwa Ibom is formidable. Akwa Ibom is formidable, and they have to remain strong. They have to remain strong and work assiduously to ensure that Biafra is restored. And of course, while the referendum will come up, we expect a very good result from Akwa Ibom. So the leadership, they've had it, and of course, he also said something that they're having some family issues, which the leadership would definitely do something about it. Very important. So give them that assurance that the leadership will step into the matter and get it resolved as soon as possible. Thank you very much, Mazioke Friday Ikere, for that wonderful report. Okay, let's go back to what we were discussing. Our leaders broadcast will really trying to digest it very well. Okay, he also said the inability of this useless generation to rise up against this impostor is just unimaginable. That was a very big blow.
Yes, that is,
especially on the youths.
That is what we have been battling with. That is the challenge, and that is the greatest shock. Do you know that even the world are surprised, the international community are surprised that the people are able to accept the impostor? That the same people that are crying of starvation, crying of hunger, crying of killings, of course, allow this impostor to be there. If the world are also surprised how this thing is possible, because we are talking about miracles. Could this also be a miracle? Well, how do we attribute it? Because it is the biggest shock of my life that this man in Asorok is not Buhari, is an impostor. And you have him sitting there, and he's sitting comfortably with confidence, and he's being protected, seriously protected, and there are few individuals, and there's no people, more than 200 million people are watching. Just glittering eyes and shiny teeth. I'm surprised that the glittering eyes and shiny teeth that they said you are is what, it's a surprise, it's a shock. That is why we, the indigenous people of Biafra, choose to distance ourselves from this evil. And of course, why we talk about Biafra, and people were saying that, why do you talk about Biafra? Why not the entire country? Because that was what they began to tell our leader. Say, you always talk about Biafra. What about the rest of the people? Why would the rest of the people not stand up? That is the question. Because we, the indigenous people of Biafra, see how they have killed us since 1967. Because we have been fighting for the truth. We have been fighting to defend the truth. We have been fighting to sustain life. We fight for humanity. And of course, since 1967 up until now, they have been killing us. Nobody on earth has been killed as much as the indigenous people of Biafra have been killed. Because it's only a few records. When you look at the records, those dirty pictures of that have the little ones that were covered. And of course, you talk about starvation. You see how our children were starved. More than 3 million people dying out of starvation. You have pregnant women, have boys and girls, you have men and women who died out of starvation, and only a few were covered. And since that time, it didn't stop. When they said there's going to be reconciliation, rehabilitation, and reconstruction, and they never did. They said they will reconcile. They never reconcile. They said they will reconstruct. They never reconstruct. They said they are going to rehabilitation. They never did. What they did was to continue the fight. While we surrendered our arm, while we stopped fighting, they continued fighting. They continued killing us. And up until now, they continue killing us. Why is it that today Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, is broadcasting from Israel? Because they sustained the killing. Because they came to his house with AK-47. Because that same killing that started taking place in 1967 is still taking place up until now. So that is why the evil in Asorok will continue. So we, the indigenous people of Biafra, have decided to, of course, distance ourselves. We have decided to take a step. We have decided to restore the land of the rising sun. That is what you see us committed in doing. We have distanced ourselves. We are not Nigerians. So but this evil happening in Nigeria can only happen in Nigeria. That is just the raw truth, because it can only happen for those who accept that evil name, that lie, the concussion, the British concussion. They call Nigeria, they say it's a nation. Nigeria is never a nation, because that is not the organic process of having a nation. That's not the way to have a nation. The way to have a nation is not to have an impostor. The way to have democracy is not to have an impostor. That a man was elected president and he died and you brought an impostor. Is that democracy? Is that the kind of democracy the world is practicing? Is that what is obtainable elsewhere in the world? And that is why you see it is a shock, and Nnamdi Kanu is looking at it, and they want us to be in the same country where this kind of evil occur. No, we are the indigenous people of Biafra. This evil can only happen to them in the north. It can happen to the west. It cannot happen in Biafra. And we are the indigenous people of Biafra. We simply separate light from darkness. We separate the truth from lies, and we filter it. We want to see, can anything actually be picked? And of course, can you see anything good in Nigeria? Can any aspect of it be fixed? And the answer is no. Nigeria cannot be fixed. Nigeria is evil. Nigeria is lies. Nigeria represents death, and there's nothing good you can pick out of it. The only thing you can do is to make sure that this zoo they call Nigeria falls, and that is why you see our leader, when he's seeing it, he's saying it with everything in him. He's focused on one thing, that this evil, this zoo must fall, and Biafra must be restored. Let the people be free. That is what we are fighting for. We are fighting for the freedom of the people, freedom of expression, freedom of mind, freedom of life, and that is it. And why is it that we are fighting? And in this freedom fight, you have people who you are fighting for. Only can happen in the evil contraction, because they have no heart, they have no soul. That is how they have been colonized. Their soul has been colonized. They have been bought over. They are no longer human beings. They are less than an animal. Because it's surprising, it's shocking, because do you know that an animal, if an animal finds itself in a cage, finds itself in a trap, if even a chicken finds itself in a trap, it will fight for freedom. That is what the lower animal will do. But here you see human beings now see themselves in a cage, in a terrorist government, in a government controlled by an impostor, and they are keeping quiet. So that is to tell you that Nigeria is not just a country. Nigeria is not just a zoo. It is a worse than that. This is, even animals will fight for their freedom when they are trapped. But Nigeria, you don't see people who are standing up, and anybody who stands up to do that becomes an enemy. They look for you and they want to kill you. They want to assassinate you. That is why they went to the house of Nnamdi Kanu and killed. In the process of trying to kill him, they killed 28 people there and then. Not the ones they killed on the way, not the ones they killed around Umuahia, not the ones they killed in Aba, but the ones they killed right there before, in his house, in his compound, in his father's house. 28 people fell in a day. Just before our very eyes, these things are happening. That is a shock. So you see, people remain in Nigeria because they are not able to stand up and fight for their freedom, because they are not able to stand up and say no to evil. Freedom can only be taken, it cannot be given. So it's a shock. And of course, our leader pointed it clearly, that is a shock that you have such an evil going on. You have people being killed. You have the Fulani Islamization agenda going on. You have Boko Haram killing there, and killing in the north, killing military men, killing Christians. You have the Fulani, of course, there in making sure that you don't have access to your farm, and you have them conquering the west, and nobody, they are not just standing up. So we, the indigenous people of Biafra, we cannot be in the same country with this kind of people. We have to stand up and fight and make sure that we are totally emancipated. Biafra must be free. That is why when we say Biafra or death, that is what it means.
All right, thank you very much. Biafra or death, that is what we mean. Okay, according to our leader, he also stated that Yoruba media said that Buhari is right-handed. I agree. How come the supposed Buhari cut his birthday cake with the left hand?
That is it.
It was, it was evidently clear. It was there.
That is the thing. Because, you see, as soon as that picture came out, of course, narrating that this man, how is it that an old man who used to be right-handed is now left-handed? And they began to criticize. They said it was reversed. They left the subjects and began to talk about something else. That is diversion of attention. They want to divert the attention of people, and they use complex things. They focus on technology. Remember that all the time, if you point out things, they will tell you it's photoshopping. And while they are the one doing the photoshopping, They are the one, because you see Femi Adesina, he becomes the master in it today, that he was able to bring pictures of different pictures about France. When they talk, I went to France, the whole president in the world went to France, and of course to talk about the former World War, they wanted to look at it and want to celebrate the end of war and all that. So other presidents were there, but the man in Asorok wasn't there. And it will take a Nigerian system to Photoshop and tell you that the president also was there, and they brought different background, different scene, different environment, and you see the man in Asorok, of course, looking at a screen about a thing that happened in climate change, and that is what will happen in Nigeria. They will do photoshopping, but when you point out clearly, look at this man. Why is it that the other Buhari used his right hand and this one is left-handed? And that is an observation. Instead of the journalists, because our leader talk about the Gota media all the time, talk about the Yoruba journalists, instead of them to investigate and find out why is it that most of these signatures, this man actually want to sign the former Buhari signature, and he cannot do it. Why is it that all the time we talk about this left and right hand? Because there are things you cannot learn in old age. But it was clearly evident that when he was cutting his cake, maybe he didn't remember, or maybe he wanted to actually act because he was thinking that we said the other Buhari is left-handed also. I don't really know what his problem was, but maybe he forgot himself. Then you saw him using his left hand. You saw that left hand come into play. So how come our journalists don't actually work like journalists? Because elsewhere in the world, you see journalists working like lawyers. They want to investigate every issue, every minute issue. They want to get to the root of it. But here, no, they actually sweep it to the ground because they only do what they are paid to do. Once you see them paid, giving brown envelope, they would do and stop there, because they are not actually journalists. They are just there to collaborate with the evil government and continue to steal. Because when you're talking about looting, who in this world have ever looted like the journalists? They are the one being used to paint the society the way it is. So if every evil is going on, I'm telling you, the journalists also in the evil contraction has to be held responsible, because they are the one painting the pictures. They are the one telling the of course, lying to the international community, lying to their own people, deceiving the next generation, because most of those work you see them doing become history, and they are stored and they are kept in archive. And when our children tomorrow want to talk about the history, they will look at those things, and at the end of the day, they are lies. That is why evil cannot stop. So you see that our journalists cannot investigate this. How come that this man that used to be right-handed now was cutting his cake? Because the former Buhari cut his cake with his right hand, but this one now is cutting it with the left, and nobody, the journalists themselves, are not asking questions. They are not digging it deep.
All right, thank you very much. The next one, he said, you are an elite and somebody from Sudan is ruling you. May your own elite in the zoo catch fire. It's really, really laughable. But it's a serious matter. For those who call themselves elites.
You see, if there is a problem, in the land, we must know who to hold responsible. Yes, if there's a problem that has been created for the next generation, our elites must be held responsible. A time has come when most of them should be driven away from the universities, because they are the problem. Is it not what they produce that actually becomes the system? They are the one teaching. You talk about those elites that form the educational system. You talk about our educational curriculum. It is the elites. You talk about those of them who went to the same university. They went to Harvard. They went to Cambridge. They went to Oxford. This same word. And do you know why? What baffles me? Because you see, when we are talking about colonization, the British, we aren't that selfish that to have stopped them from going to the same schools. That's one thing. When you look at, sometimes our people talk about white supremacy and they blame the white for everything. Yes, we blame the British for colonization, for creating the evil contraction called Nigeria. But we blame ourselves more because people have actually done us wrong things. But we have done ourselves worse evil than anybody has ever done to us. Because the British allowed you to attend their schools. The same school their children attended. So what else could they have done for you? So you don't blame them for colonizing us. We are simply stupid because we are unable to build our own society. We are unable. You have people that attended these same universities. Because if actually they meant to destroy us as individuals, destroy everything about us, they wouldn't open the doors of their universities. And of course, the discoveries we discover is in those universities. Our people went to Oxford. Our people went to Cambridge. Our people went to all the universities. And what did they learn? When they get there, remember when they come back here, what they come back to do? They come back to intimidate us with certificates. That is what our elites do. You see them moving with hairs that they don't comb, they don't barb for years. You see them, how you identify those professors those days, where you look at them, you see them with unkempt hairs, and of course they don't barb their hair for years, and they won't barb it, they won't even comb it. If you approach them, you ask them simple questions, they will use complex words. They will use English words, they will use Romance words. Complex words, all those words they got from Latin, that is the word they will use, and of course they will confuse it more. And when you touch the likes of Wole Soyinka, he'll tell you he's writing for a class. He's writing for a class because they are elites. They are there to confuse you. They are not there to solve your problems. They are not there to solve the problem in the land. They are there to make you know that they have actually gone to study, that they are not in the same class with you. They are there because they have borrowed that system, you know, that classic system that was taken from Latin. You know, those days when Latin used to be the world language, and of course international language. It was for a class. Though if you could speak Latin, you belong to the higher class, and that is what our people like. Our people like you to bow to them. They don't like to solve the problem of the common man. So that is why you see the intellects, you see, those of them that call themselves intellects, they are only intellect when they speak complex words. And of course, they create confusion. And that is why you see that in our system, people like using complex words. They like complex situation, and they can never simplify it. Whereas you see our leader, watch our leader. Our leader is so intelligent, he's so learned. If you talk about intelligence, he should not be classified with these same people, because he is different. Look at our leader is bringing the simple issues. There are complex issues. He has actually known that Nigeria is a complex thing. Nigeria was created with its complexities, but he is fighting, and he said, no, I'm going to fight with the instrumentality of truth, because he knows that if it means coming with weapon, our people would be the one to use the same weapon to fight their leaders, to fight those who are fighting for their freedom. And of course, he identified, he said, okay, let us bring the truth. Let us put it on the table. And that is why you see him. He is not bringing even there are some words that are so heavy that they can't understand. He is bringing the common ones. That's okay. You say the man in Asorok is Buhari. Look at his ears. Simple thing. And he is not looking for strange pictures or photoshopping pictures. He brought his picture, the one he took in the US, the one he took that the former Buhari took, and he's bringing these two pictures. It is your picture. Look at these ears and tell me, is this same man Buhari? Does one person have two different ears? And these are simple things. And he's pointing it out. He's telling you, look at this thing. And people want to confuse us. They come with complex words. They come with complexities. We cannot be confused, because when you're looking at intellectualism in Nigeria, it's an abuse. They just abuse everything. Anything that steps into Nigeria, and once you see yourself in Nigeria, you must abuse. And that is why you see the gutter media. If you go to the gutter media, go to those media houses, most of them are the so-called intellectuals. Some of them are PhD holders. Some of them are lecturers. And you see them, they are the ones that are heavily paid to write this nonsense, to paint the lies in the pages of newspaper, and they form a negative history for the future generation. So intellectualism in Nigeria is also very, very negative. It's evil, one of the evils of our time.
All right, thank you very much. He went ahead. He said Aisha Buhari has visited Saudi Arabia at least 3 times this year for Hajj. I asked some Islamic scholars, how many times does a person go for Hajj in a year? And they said 1 time. Now I ask, why is Aisha Buhari frequenting Saudi Arabia?
Of course, that is where the deal was done. You know, if you watch it very closely, our leader keep talking about Aisha Buhari, and of course her role, because if you want to know exactly understand what happened to the late Buhari, you look at what happened to Aisha also, because you cannot separate the two. Aisha was the person. That time they were telling us London, London. Aisha was all the time going to Saudi Arabia instead of London. So how is it that this man, your husband, was sick in London and you are always going to Hajj? I don't know, maybe to pray back the soul of the dead Buhari or what? And maybe sometimes I suspect something, because, you know, as a woman, the evil is too much and she cannot conceive most of the things. I believe that sometimes she is going to cry at the grave side of her late husband. That is why you see her frequenting Saudi Arabia. And of course, she will go there 3 times. And our leader took time, you know, very simple things. People are looking for a solution. They want freedom. If you want freedom, start with the little one, the simplest one very close to you. He asked a very simple and logical question. He said, how many times should a Muslim, a normal Muslim, go to Hajj in a year? And they said it is once, normally once. Okay, even if you are going to have another one, they call it Hajj. Okay, let's assume that there could be provision and twice. But why going 3 times in a year? Something is fishy somewhere. And he's looking at it. Why is it that Aisha Buhari is frequent in Saudi Arabia? That is it. Because, you know, all the time I look at her as a woman, all the time going to cry at the graveside of her husband. That is just my own simple answer to that. Because there is no reason why she be frequenting Saudi Arabia. Is she going there to pray down the soul of her late husband? I believe her heart, she must be a woman of sorrow. She must have been tormented psychologically. All these things that is happening, she is human. No, forget the money. Forget the money. She is still having a soul and a body. And she is human. When all these things have piled up, most of the time you see her running to Saudi Arabia. You think she's going there to enjoy herself. No, she's going to cry out her soul. Why did this? And maybe she'll be asking Buhari why. She'll go to his graveyard and be asking, why did you leave me at this point? Why this kind of international embarrassment? Because a lot of things are there and people are not asking questions. I love our leader. He's asking those simple questions that nobody, even those of them that call themselves intellectuals, are unable to ask. These are simple questions that we should be asking ourselves.
Okay, he also said Aisha Buhari, the wife of late Muhammadu Buhari, Nigerian's president, knows about the slaughter of Alex Bade, former Nigerian defense minister, including Abba Kyari, because he threatened to expose what he knew about Jubril if they don't withdraw the charges against him.
You see, that is it. When you see any time you talk about they coming quick to kill a person, why? Because anybody that try to expose them, of course, they go straight against the person. Remember how they went to the house of Nnamdi Kanu? Why did they do that? They would see today they talk about not having enough hardware, of course, military hardware to fight Boko Haram. But when it came to the house of Nnamdi Kanu, they did. They had everything. They had fighter jets. They had armored tanks. They had the best snappers in the world that could go there. And of course, they could shoot to the point of shooting Jack, his dog. So they could shoot every living thing there. That is it, because you have touched the tiger's tail. You have touched the untouchable. You have said said what shouldn't be said. What secret, the most concealed secret in the world, you have touched it. And anybody who dares go there becomes an enemy. And the man in question has information, and they knew his authenticity because he knows he's part of the system. He's complicit in the whole game. So they knew he would actually do that. And why is it? What happens in the next days? He was killed. And our leader is pointing it out that Aisha Buhari know much. You see, this Aisha Buhari must be a dark horse. She has known so much. She must be a dark horse because, you see, for an individual to know what she knows as a woman in this generation, I don't know. I think she would actually be named a woman of the generation. Of course, she has won something that Jezebel didn't win. Because even in the Bible, Jezebel wasn't as powerful as this. This Aisha must know so much things. So our leader is pointing it out. Go and trace the death. And of course, when you look at it, you see the clear evidence. Our leader is saying what is very simple things. And you know, when he's reading the newspapers, he's pointing out these things. Because while they try to write and cover things, and even in their newspaper, our leader will see the truth. Even in their own lies, he will see the truth. So watch everything our leader is saying and dig it out. You find out that he is saying nothing but the truth. And that is why the international community, because the world are looking for truth, they look towards Biafra, because Biafra is the only hope we have in Africa.
All right, thank you very much. And we have this one. Nnamdi Kanu to write Donald Trump over U.S. ambassador's role in sending fake Buhari to White House. He said it, and of course he said he would do it, but that will be for tomorrow. Let's look at what he said about Okezie-Ikpeazu. You know, he said something, he alleged that it was Okezie-Ikpeazu who ordered the arrest of the Jewish adherents, and also give him 3 days ultimatum to release them. If not, he won't be able to carry out any campaign in any community in Abia State. What do you have to say about that?
Exactly. Because the other day we talked about the arrest of Jewish people, of course, the indigenous people of Biafra, our people who went to march. Why were they detained? Where were they kept? Because we knew that in the past, the lawyers would tell you that their hands are tied. And we know that the governors, anything that you, even if it is the presidency who is responsible, they will pass through the governors. So nobody else can be held responsible if not Okezun Ikpeazu, in the sense that, one, he is the chief executive of chief security officer in the state. So he is the one in charge of security. He is the one in charge of police. If he was not the one, has he really taken the step he should take? Because to ensure that the freedom, because when he swore the oath, what he swore was to defend the freedom of the people. He swore to defend the rights of the people, to secure their life and property. That is the first oath. Because the first thing is that these people, you are the governor of a people, and of course you swore that you were going to protect their lives and their property. How is it that the people, of course, came out in their normal religious march and they were arrested and detained? Who ordered it? If you look at it, he was making it very point and very clear that, see, all the people involved, watch them. They are not, this time around, they are not strangers. They are not names of other people from elsewhere. They are Okezun Ikpeazu's men. Watch them. And of course, he said that, look at it clearly. There is no other evidence that you need, if not that Okezun Ikpeazu, the same person that was there during Operation Python Dance, to the same cabals that are working. So Okezun Ikpeazu should be held responsible. He is the governor of Abia State, and he has got a history of fighting the indigenous people of Biafra. Right there in Umuahia, he is the one. You know, when you talk about Operation Python Dance, remember it took place in Umuahia, right there in very close to Government House. That is it, where he has his office, where Nnamdi Kanu is the landlord, because you see him, his father is the owner of those lands. So he said, okay, as his tenant. So that is the same place where this evil is taking place. And Okezun Ikpeazu is there sitting in Government House, and you're telling me that our people, innocent people, were arrested, and the police, that of course the Commissioner of Police, all of them are from his lineup, and you tell me that he's not involved. He knows everything about it. The judges that are passing the judgment and everything are taking instruction from him, and that is why he has to be held responsible. Because if he is not responsible, what has he done as the governor to stop the arrest, or not just to stop, even to effect their release? Because they were not supposed to be detained, even if it was wrongly. Maybe police did a dirty job and they maybe on their own went and arrested. The governor would have made a statement immediately and released them, give them unconditional, they should be released unconditionally. But Okezun Ikpeazu, of course, because the judges' hands are tied, and of course the Commissioner of Police have to also obey the chief the chief security of the state. That is why our people are locked up in prison, because there is a governor who is against the people. He is not for the people. He is fighting against the interest and the will of the people.
All right, thank you very much. At this moment, we'll be going on a break, but before that, we'll have a game to play today. We'll have a very important game to play this season, and today on, we are going to be asking a question, and only those from Biafra Land will go home with a prize. Only someone from Biafra Land who answers the question correctly. And the program is called Day of Action, Submit or Fight. Victory is certain. Day of Action, Submit or Fight. Victory is certain. Starting December 24th, 2018. It's starting from today. The RPOB Media Referendum questions and answer for those in Biafra Land. And the winners will go home with some gifts. And today, the winner will be going home with a small radio. A small radio. We want to ensure that the sensitization continues. You get your radio. You can as well give to someone who do not have. But today's question, anyone who gets the answer will will win a small radio or airtime. And the first question is, on what date did the Nigerian DSS kidnap Nnamdi Kanu, and where? You call in and tell us your answer. On what date did the Nigerian DSS kidnap Nnamdi Kanu, and where? Give us your answer, and you'll be able to go home with a small radio today. So we'll be going on a break. Stay tuned. We'll return, and when we return, we'll get your answers. Thank you very much. I remain Ngozi Chukwuka.
Touch me, shake me, wake me up. Love me, hate me, do what you gotta do. I really wanna wake up from this nightmare. Them I call Nigeria. Can nobody take away what we got going on for the love of our country? I traveled everywhere on the face of this earth. There's no place like home. Ooh, ooh. For the love of mankind. Ooh. For the love of freedom. Ooh. For the love of Chukwu. Ooh. For the love of my country. I really wanna wake up from this nightmare. Them I call Nigeria. Can nobody take away what we got going on for the love of our country? I traveled everywhere on the face of this earth. There's no place like home. Ooh. For the love of my home. Britain came like a thief in the night. Like a thief in the night. Nigeria came like a thief in the night. Like a thief in the night. The Bojos came like thieves in the night. Murderous monsters came like a thief to kill and steal and to keep us down. Kill baby, Biafra oil. Biafra oil made the world go round. Makes me wonder what the hell is going on. Why are they killing our people for our oil? Nigeria killing Biafrans for their land. First it was oil, now it's cow colony. Mieti Allah, another terror group. Fulani henchmen killing everywhere. Boko Haram too, it's all about the killing. 18 terror come from the north. Nigeria army never for the war. Killing Biafrans is all they're ever known for. Killing Biafrans is all they're ever known for. Unarmed civilians ain't safe around them. The war looked the other way like it was nothing. United Nations very hypocritical. They ain't saying shit, they are partners in crime. We trust in God so we still see the light. Hey, they are walking my Biafra spirit. Loved and blessed by God Almighty. Nothing can stop Biafra from coming. Not even Britain killing our people. Murdering Biafrans in bloody cold blood. Britain, go back to where you came from. And please don't do what you did on the land. We are freedom pound, land of milk and honey. Can't nobody take away God from us. Like a thief in the night.
Welcome back. You're still watching Sunrise Daily News Analysis, and our lines are open for you to call in and make your contribution. Call in and make your contribution. Very, very important. And of course, while you make your contribution, we'll have a game going on. And of course, today the question is, on what date was Nnamdi Kanu arrested, and where? At where? What's the venue? At what point was he arrested? And you will be going. The winner will be going home with a small radio. That's what we have for you this season. So you call in and make your contribution. Call in and give us your own answer. We have a call on Skype. Hello.
Yeah. Miss Ngozi and Mazi Oriako. I called to say good day all. And thank you for what you guys are doing. You guys are doing tremendously well. Well, what makes me to call this very moment was to participate in the question. I believe and I win it. And if I win it, I will dash it to the next person. I know. Hello? I will dash it to the next person that called.
Are you calling from Biafra Land? Hello, Pastor Chris. Can you hear me?
I'm not calling from Biafra Land.
So the question is not for you.
I will win it and I will dash it to the next person.
You're not going to take the question. Sorry about that. Allow people from Biafra Land to answer the question. Then if they don't get it, we'll come back to you.
If I don't get it, I believe strongly that I will get it.
I know. I believe you can get it, but it is not for you. So when all the people from Biafra Land are not able to get it, then we'll come back to you.
Okay, no problem. Well, that was reason, my reason of calling anyway. But what I want to chip in today is that I want you to add more music to this our music.
Okay.
You know, we have so many Biafra Got Talent artists and so many music. It will make our studio to look more lucrative, more beautiful.
Okay.
You know, this our music now. It has been long. You know, I'm not criticizing the artist because he tried, but we should try other artists to kind of promote them as well.
Yeah.
You know, so I think we are doing our thing. We should download many of Biafra Got Talent's musics. We have more powerful ones, and kind of we'll play them.
Right.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very
much.
much. Yeah, we'll look into that. But we'll have we'll have a procedure, we'll have a way of doing things, and of course I think the media is aware. We do not play any music that has been uploaded on YouTube already because it's now pirated. It's as if we are now pirates. So if they can hit to the instruction, that's the problem we are having with them. When you get your music, send it across to the media head, and then we'll process it and ensure it plays on every platform. Once it gets to YouTube, we won't play it again, especially on this platform. Yes, hello. Call on the phone.
Hey, good morning.
Thank you very much. Good morning. What's the name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, it's not, the line is not coming out, it's not audible. Yeah, my name is Ezekwem Uchechi. I'm calling from Enugu, from Okigwe Profit.
Ezekwem Uchechi calling
from
Thank
you,
Enugu.
People, for the program you guys are doing every morning to educate us more. Even on weekend, it was so marvelous. All the information we are getting from our leader, Nnamdi Kanu. So we thank God for the expose that is happening in the zoo, Nigeria. Anyway, I just want to try for the question you asked.
Okay, go ahead.
Our leader was being kidnapped by the DSS on 14th of October 2015 at Lagos and in a hotel.
What's the name of the hotel?
I don't know if I got it right.
What's the name of the hotel?
Sorry?
What's the name of the hotel?
That's a big question. Actually, I can't remember the name of the hotel. Actually.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, we'll try someone else. You tried, but not accurately, not 100% correct. So we'll give chance for some other person. Hello, call on Skype. The call on Skype, are you there? Too bad. Sorry, you have to call back. You have to call back. All right, the question once again, when was our leader, Nnamdi Kanu, arrested by the DSS? What's the date and at where? When you're telling us it's in a hotel, give us the name of the hotel. Very, very important. And today, the winner will be going home with a small radio. Hello, call on the phone.
This is Prophet Vincent, calling from Abakaliki province of Biafra Land.
Come again.
I salute your courage. Ngozi Wachuku. Right, Wachuku. Chukwu gozi unu. Unu na-eme nke ọma. Eji m ohere ala akpọkụ ụmụafọ ụmụnne m ndị Biafra. Onye atụkwana vootu ebe a ka anyị nọ. Ọ kwekwala ka onye ọbụla bụ ndị politicians. Ndị na-atụ mgbere pati. Ka ha ghọrịa gị na ha na-eme election. Onwe akwa election na-eme na Biafra Land o. Dịka ndị ụmụnna anyị ndị site ugwu Awụsa ma ndị si Lagos ma any other part of the zoo. Ala ụmụ anụmanụ. Unu atụkwana vootu onye ebe a ka nọ. Ebe anyị ikwu bụ na Biafra. Enweghịkwa ihe ọzọ na bụ Biafra. Ndị niile bụ ndị ohi a, ndị ochi na-achụ ihe ndị mmadụ ka ha tụọrọ ha vootu. Anyị atụpụkwara ọrụ. Anyị achọrọzi mmegbu a Naịjirịa na-emegbu Biafra kemgbe ụwa. Anyị achọrọzi ya. Unu sekwa aka unu kpamkpam nọ onye ọbụla na-aghọrị gị. Ebe ọbụla ha tụrụ campaign ground agakwala ebe ahụ. Biko otu a ka e kwuru ya. Bido kịta oge ama ntekwa aka ahụ. Ebe ọbụla ha fọrọ posta na moto gị maọbụ na motosaịkụl gị. Ogbarage, also an eye post party, my PDP, my PCO, I want to challenge Jack. We're all right in the case where we put Sagan in that because I'm not Yabakaliki province, standing on the Kenya, you couldn't Lanka, just sitting Kaku, Maranka, Bakaliki province. Madabula, we don't have governor, speaker, Yobo. Abuna post again how many post and the senators and the rep Mayonga. What to see on a baby, what piano motor no balade, what piano quantity, even when it's a post and here because what to see on all the Nako, they are the Mage, or Baloko quantity. Chileke gozi of Madiko, Kachileke Nikulu, Amadi, Kanika, Naha Chikoka Biama.
You see, thank you. Call out on WhatsApp. Hello. Hello, they call on WhatsApp. Can you hear me? Call on the phone. Hello. Hello, call on the phone. Can you hear me? The caller on the phone, are you there? Okay, we lost the call. We have another call idea. Hello, caller on the phone. Caller on the phone, can you hear me? Hello, the caller on Skype. Caller on Skype, are you there? What's going on? Hello, call on Skype. Okay, sorry about that. We'll have to let it go.
I'm not hearing anything. Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello?
I hope you're not listening to your device.
Let me drop and call back.
Okay, sorry about that. We'll have a call on the phone. Hello. Hello, call on the phone. Are you there? Too bad. Please, before you call on this platform, ensure you turn down the volume of your listening device, or you can turn it off. Then after the call, you can go back and start listening or watching the program once again. Hello, call on Skype. The caller on Skype, can you hear me? The caller on WhatsApp, are you there?
Yes, good morning, my sister Ngozi.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
And good morning, Martin Praiko.
Good morning. Welcome to the program.
My name is Aikene Chukwu. I am calling from Kenya, Nairobi precisely.
You're welcome.
We thank Chukwu Okike Abiama, and a very big thank you to all of you in that studio. You people are doing a wonderful job. We really appreciate you people. May Chukwu Okike Abiama, all of you that are making sure that Africa come back to what they are, because Biafra is the only hope of Africa. It doesn't matter what anybody think about it. We are still on what our leader, the message of our leader on masking Jubilee. Sorry. You know, one thing about Nigerian journalists is that it's just like what our leader said, they are just Gota media, they are just Gota journalists. They can never investigate anything. Our leader has given them the fact to investigate, and they are turning everything. They are trying to twist it. Thanks for Radio Biafra. Thanks for TV, Biafran TV. If not for these two platforms, I don't know where we could have been by now, because these people, they really deal with us with media, and that is what they normally use against us. But today we have defeated them on that area because we are everywhere in media. We are everywhere, and we are going to defeat them all everywhere. So, what are we going to say? There are many to talk about these people. They don't do anything in that zoo country. They can never achieve anything. Biafra is the hope. And I am pleading to our brother. This is the season we have to evangelize. Now we are at home. Please let us make time to evangelize. Tell our people about Biafra. Tell them not to vote because we can never gain anything from voting. May Chukwu Kabiama bless all of you. May Chukwu Kabiama bless our leader. May Chukwu Kabiama bless every IPOB member, anywhere they are. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Call on the phone. Hello. Hello, call on the phone. Can you hear me? Call on the phone. Are you there? Okay, let's not forget we are in our question and answer time. Today we have a game we are playing here. When you answer correctly, when you give an answer correctly, then you will go home with a prize. And today's winner will be going home with a small radio. And the question is, on what date did the Nigerian DSS kidnap Nnamdi Kanu and where? You don't just say Lagos, no. You have to tell us where in Lagos. Was he arrested in a hotel? If it's in a hotel, yes. What's the name of the hotel? Was he kidnapped in a bar? Tell us the name of the bar. Was he kidnapped in a swimming pool? Tell us the name of the swimming pool. Very, very important. So call in to make a contribution. Call on WhatsApp. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Hello, call on WhatsApp.
I can hear you.
Okay, good morning. What's the name you are calling from?
I'm JJ from Ipob. I will be you.
Okay, go ahead. You want to answer the question?
I want to answer the question.
Good, go ahead. But please let me hear your name once again so I can put it down.
I'm JJ from Water. I will be you.
JJ. Hello, are you there?
I can hear you.
Yeah, but I can't hear you clearly. Your name, once again.
JJ Uduku.
Uduku. Okay, JJ Uduku. Go ahead.
And he was arrested on the 14th of October 2015 at Golden Tulip Essential Hotel.
At where?
Golden Tulip Essential Hotel, Keja, Lagos.
Okay, Golden Tulip Hotel at Lagos. All right, thank you very much, JJ Uduku. We'll get back to you if you are the winner of today's game. We'll definitely get back to you. Okay? Thank you very much. We'll have a caller on the phone. Caller on the phone, are you there? Hello, caller on the phone, are you there? All right, we'll have another caller there and we'll be switching. Hello, caller on the phone. Caller on the phone, hello. Okay, we lost the call. The question is
I could not get the question. Currently, please.
What is your name and where are you calling from?
Huh?
First of all, what is your name and where are you calling from? Let's know your name.
The question is cutting. The service is cutting. I couldn't.
Oh, sorry about that. Sorry about that. That's the Zoo Epileptic Network, and of course they are trying to frustrate some of you, and just because of the price today, you know, other days the network was a bit better, but today the network really do not want them to go home with the price. Okay, we'll have a caller there on the phone. Hello. Hello, caller on the phone. Call on Skype. Hello. Hello, the caller on Skype. Can you hear me?
Yes, good morning. Am I coming up clear?
Okay, go ahead. What's the name?
Hello,
where are you
good
coming
morning.
from? Yourself on the radio or television, whatever. That's too bad, please. Anytime you are calling on this platform, turn off your device. If you can't move away from it, then listen to the phone conversation. Let's converse on the phone, and after that you can go back to the program. It's not a big deal. We should learn to be disciplined, please. Very, very important. Very important. We have just a few minutes to go, and the question once again is, on what date did the Nigerian DSS kidnap Nnamdi Kanu, and where? Date and where was our leader kidnapped by the Nigerian DSS? Hello, call on WhatsApp.
Hello.
Yes, good morning from here. What's the name you are calling from?
Hello.
Hello, can hear you. Go ahead.
Hello.
Hello, are you there?
Hello?
I can hear you.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I just told you I can hear you. Go ahead. I think you are listening to your device.
Yeah, I wanted to contribute concerning the issue of Biafra referendum.
What is your name and where are you calling from?
Hello?
Sorry. Bye, we'll have a call on the phone. Hello.
Hello?
Call on the phone, can you hear me?
Hello, good morning, Gazi.
Thank you, good morning. What's your name?
Good morning. Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear. Go ahead. Do not listen to your device.
Thank you for picking up my call, and thank you for being there for Biafra.
Thank you for calling.
I'm with all of you. May people continue to bless you.
Bless you too.
My name is Nnamdi Kanu. I'm voicing out from Abakaliki province.
Your what? Mazi what?
It's province, Biafra Land. Rather, I'm calling on Biafrans to always focus on our, election boycott. I advise all our callers to focus on election boycott. This is where we are now. We have to do it. This is the time we have to do it. We have to push back so our people know the need of boycotting that previous election of the youth. With regard to your question this morning, how can she coming out? Rather.
Go ahead. You want to attend to the question? Go ahead.
Okay, your question this morning where my leader was abducted by the Islamic DSS officials. And the name of the hotel is Golden Tulip Essential Hotel, Ikeja, Lagos. And he was abducted on the 14th of October 2015. That was the date. And the hotel name is Golden Tulip Essential Hotel, Ikeja, Lagos, Nigeria. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. What's your name again? Okay, I was only able to grab Onyebuchi from Abakaliki. He said going to the Hotel Land on the 14th of October. 14th of October. Okay, thank you very much. We'll have a call on the phone. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, hello.
Hello, good morning.
Thank you. Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling
Hello,
from?
good morning.
Good morning.
Hello.
Hello, good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Okay. CSC, what Biafra? Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, good morning.
Oh, good morning. Can you please call back? Okay, we have a caller on WhatsApp. Hello, caller on WhatsApp.
Hello.
Hello, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm calling. My name is Mefuna.
Okay, what's your name? Where are you calling from? You want to attend to the question?
I'm calling from Germany.
Okay, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
So I wanted to throw in a contribution because I've been going through this program for long now, and I want to first of all thank you guys for your good works and how you people have been fighting for us to see that we get this Biafra to pass. So my contribution is that we, the Biafrans, at least most of the youths in Biafra land, are you with me?
Yeah, I'm with you. Go ahead.
We have to stand up and defend our country, our region. We don't have to follow this zoological Nigeria to partake in any election or whatever, because we don't care to know or whatever things they are doing. We are not part of them, because what is really going on in Nigeria as a zoological country is unbearable. What I've seen is even an impostor is ruling Nigeria. So we don't belong to Nigeria. We are Biafrans, and we must stand strong to make sure that we defend Biafrans. Are you with me? By the special grace of God, I will be coming in before the election. So I don't want to. I would like everybody to be in unity. We have to practice unity. We have to practice love and oneness so that we can be able to get this Biafra and we will be safe from all this threat and the humiliation that Nigeria have been, the military and the police has been patronizing, which we don't like. So all this things must stop. So what I'm trying to say in effect that for us to get all this is we have to love ourselves and be strong and stand strong. And all these people, saboteurs we are having, everybody has to turn around and know that these people they don't like us. They don't like anything about us. So we have to understand this and get this in our head that we need to go and be free and walk according to the way Chukwuka Biama created us. We are different from them. We are not animals. We are not a bunch of idiots, vagabonds, like the Fulani herdsmen and all the Boko Haram. We are not like that. We are people that ordained from heaven. God created us in different ways. So that is why we need to fight and make sure Biafra come to an existence. That is what I want to contribute. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your contribution. We'll have a caller on the phone, and that's going to be our last caller for today. Hello, caller on the phone.
Hello.
Yes, good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello.
Hello, we can hear you. What is your name?
Hello, my sister. I want to give my answer on the date
What is your name and where are you coming from? How would I know? You don't give me your name.
I'm Onyekachi.
Onyekachi from where?
I'm calling from Lagos.
Onyekachi calling from Lagos.
This our leader was arrested. It was on 18th October at the Golden Street Essential Hotel, Airport Hotel on Sunday.
Okay, thank you very much. Onyekachi from Lagos said our leader was kidnapped on the 18th of October 2015 at Golden Tulip Hotel. 18th of October 2015. All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And of course, we'll have just a few minutes to go and we'll announce the winner for today. Hello on Skype. Hello.
Good morning. If you are hearing me, this is Mazi Daniel Usoro. I'm calling from Iguacha this morning. Good morning to you, Biafrans all over the world. I greet you according to your time zone. Wherever you are this morning, I say may the God Almighty in heaven bless you. And for being resolute, for having the ability to hold on to this very struggle up to this very moment and in this crucial time that we are into. I just want to use this opportunity. The reason why I called this morning, some people who have been making some statements concerning the issues we have in Akwa Ibom State, please, I want them to desist from it. The national is on top of the situation. The national is working towards it. And those who are trying to sabotage the progress that we are having in Akwa Ibom, I want to use this moment to call them to desist from it. I am an indigene of Anna province in Akwa Ibom province in Ikorepene. I'm a principal officer, and that is why this morning I am begging those who feel that want to use it as an avenue to disrupt the pits and to disrupt the arrangement and the structures that we have in Akwa Ibom should desist from it. The national are doing everything possible to handle the situation and to make the structures in Akwa Ibom to move smoothly. So this morning I just want to use this opportunity to call all those interest parties that they should hold on to and allow the national to do the necessary thing. There is no gain in sabotaging. There is no gain in doing things that are not in line with the command and control of IPOB.
All right, thank you very much, Daniel Lucero. Of course, just like you heard me say when the report came in, that the leadership is handling the issue presently, and of course they will do something as soon as possible. Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much. The leadership is on it, and you know that's what we see in a struggle every now and then. We are a family, even in a family of 3, 4, 5. We will always disagree to agree, and you know, the most important thing is ability to resolve the issue, and that is going on right now. Thank you very much, and thanks to the National for going into that matter. We hope it will be resolved amicably. Very, very important. That's the most important thing. Thank you. Together we'll make it happen, and of course, in the end, Biafra will be restored. Okay, this is the most we can take for today. And we will be drawing the curtain here. But before we go, we'll announce the winner of today's game. Of course, we'll have the first person who made an attempt. His name is Ezekwem Uchechi from Enugu. He said our leader was arrested on the 14th of October 2015 in Lagos. He didn't give the name of the hotel. And the next one is a female. Her name is, but you know, I'm really surprised. All this while our women have not been calling, but today we have a game, and you heard her, you know, you heard one of us called and give the answer. Okay, it's really, really impressive, and I hope you will keep calling. Not just for the game, keep calling to encourage other women. It's really important. And the name, I do not know if I got it rightly, Jeje Uduku from Iguacha. DJ Uduku from Iguacha. She gave her own answer, 14th of October 2015 at Golden Tulip Hotel. We also have another person, Onyebuchi. He said Onyebuchi. His own answer is Golden Tulip Hotel, and on the 14th of October. We also have Onyekachi from Lagos. His answer was 18th of October 2015 at Golden Tulip Hotel. Okay, you all are wonderful. You made a very good attempt, and 2 people got the answer correctly. But among these 2 persons who got the answer, the first person will be going home with the prize. The first person will be going home with the prize, and that is Jeje Uduku from Iguacha. Jeje Uduku from Iguacha, you will be going home with a prize. So do communicate us immediately after this program to ensure your prize gets to you. Thank you very much, and of course, thanks to the team who has made this possible. We urge you to join us again tomorrow. We still have lots of questions, and of course, you'll be going home with airtime for your subscription. It's important. We want to ensure that the gospel and you know, the gospel for the restoration of Biafra doesn't go down. The fire will keep going higher. By the time you have the radio, you can listen to the broadcast, you can listen to the program. By the time you get your airtime, you can subscribe and always be online to keep exposing the zoo, keep exposing the evil going on in the contraption. So that is why we are here. And of course, you can also call your friends, share the program with your friends, tell them about the happenings. You know, I received a call last night. Someone called from text that I said, my people in Umuahia said they don't know anything about the election boycott. They've not heard anything about the election boycott. And, you know, I was like, what? People really need to step up. People in Umuahia need to step up with the evangelism. It's very, very important. Very important. Okay, before we go, Mazi Oriako, what message do you have for our people?
Yes. The truth about it is that we have come to the point that we must continue. And of course, looking towards our leader as he unmasked the man in Asorok, every one of us, all hands have to be on deck. We must unmask the man in Asorok, and that is why the truth will prevail at the end, and Biafra will totally be restored.
Thank you very much. Okay, once again, before I go, the name of the winner for today's game is JJ Uduku, and your phone number is 0803 735 6008. Please. Number once again, you programs will be coming your way immediately after now. Bye for now.
Like a thief in the night. Nigeria came like a thief in the night. Like a thief in the night. The Bojos came like thieves in the night. Murderous monsters came like a thief to kill and steal and to keep us down. Kill baby, drive for our oil. Biafra oil made the world go round. Makes me wonder what the hell is going on. Why are they killing our people for our oil? Nigeria killing Biafrans for their land. First it was oil, now it's cow colony. Mieti Allah, another terror group. Fulani henchmen killing everywhere. Boko Haram too, it's all about the killing. 18 terror come from the north. Nigeria army never for the war. Killing Biafrans is all they're ever known for. Killing Biafrans is all they're ever known for. Unarmed civilians ain't safe around them. The world looked the other way like it was nothing. United